this this is on. Oh, okay. So yeah, it would go like this. No, cause I was thinking of common, rare, uncommon, and yeah, let's do it like that. They should have made green. They should have made green uncommon, and they should have made yellow rare. Because like I don't know, like yellow sounds more of like a rare color, you know, like it doesn't. I mean, like to me it sounds like a rare, like to me it sounds like a rare color to me, right? And then of course purple will be like a very rare item, cause like that's purple, it's a rare item, you know. So and then like this. Okay, so if we're going by what the game is saying, okay, actually let's go by what I'm saying. So do it the same way. So for every token, there you go. You get one token, you get the brown medkit. Second token, you get the green medkit. Third tokens, you get the yellow medkit. Four tokens, you get the ranger medkit. Alright, and then since we know there's like so many like medkits, um, 5 tokens, you get the Halloween event, launch box medkit. 6 tokens, you get the anniversary medkit. Uh, yeah, you get that one, and 7 tokens, you get the masquerade medkit token. So basically, in theory, what all these things I'm thinking about, you get all these like different medkits for every token you get. For every token, for every pallet stun, you get a token, right? Every pallet stun, you get a token, and every pallet stun rewards a higher chance of getting a better medkit. So in theory, since there's what like I didn't really count. There's let's go back and count. Let's go back and count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 medkits. So there are 7 medkits in this game, which means you can get 7 tokens. So for every Palestine you get a better rarity of medkit, and you can use all these tokens to open a chest, right? Hear me out. You open the chest, and you get the chest. Within the chest, you get a high guaranteed chance of a medkit. 7 tokens. 7 tokens will get you a masquerade medkit. That is how that that's how this would work. It's seven tokens, seven. So hitting the killer with a Palestine would give you 7 tokens, and with all these tokens, you would get a masquerade medkit to open from a chest. Like, I think that's cool, right? And then I had an idea for this ISIS strike, right? And then it's like, um, I had an idea for this ISIS strike, right? So this is to make the perk more effective again, right? And here's my idea, right? So it says 4 seconds. You wish it said 5, but whatever. Um, um. So for this, here's my idea. My idea. Since we all know Swift likes, you know, like meta builds. Since we all know everybody likes meta builds and Swift's like ring flashlights and everything, here's my idea. My idea, I know it sounds fucking stupid, but my idea is this. For every flashlight stun, not like every flashlight stun, but for like, I wanna say, and your add-ons play a major role into this too. So as you can see, add-ons, flashlight, as you can see, obviously. So basically, here's what would happen. So, you see how this says 4 seconds? if you flashlight stun the killer, so all you have to do is this. All you have to do is flashlight stun the killer, and if you have this perk, you increase the amount of seconds. If you go down and they like, and if you go down and they get you, all you do before this perk runs out, while you first got hooked and it's activated, all you do is flashlight stun the killer. If first perk runs out, you flashlight on the killer, and what will happen is you will increase this perk's seconds. You will increase this perk's seconds for every stun you get. So for every flashlight stun you get, you will increase this perk's you will increase this perk's seconds for every 60 seconds. So for every 60 seconds, you will increase this perk's seconds of wait time. So right, see how it says 4 seconds? And then for 4 seconds, every 60 seconds, every time you stun them, every time, so, hang on, so 60 seconds, while it's active, and then we stun them, and first active for 60 seconds, and first active for 4 seconds, and then before it runs out, and you can stun them, you get another additional 60 seconds. We'll give you, and within those another additional 60 seconds, you will get 5 seconds. For stunning the killer with a flashlight, you will get 5 seconds. Now the same thing applies. The perk completely deactivates if you do anything that is a conspicuous action. If you do anything that is a conspicuous action in the game, this perk deactivates. It's literally easy. You know, like I know it sounds kind of like a stupid ass idea, but it's like also in the same way, it also sounds pretty. Like this makes like having my idea. It's like this makes the perk useful again. Not only flashlights are pretty useful, and not only we have a perk that's also kind of useful. Well, kinda actually, but it's like to make this perk even more useful. How about we just make flashlights even more insane, right? So for every flashlight stun, you increase this perk's wait time by another 60 seconds, and within the 60 seconds, you gain another additional seconds. So let's say you stun the killer one time, and this perk is still at 4 seconds. Guess what? Secretly, what's going on here? In those 4 seconds that the perk is running out in, if you flashlight stun the killer, you will gain another additional 60 seconds to keep the perk activated, and then another additional 6 seconds, you will get, instead of 4 seconds of the perks running out of time, to 5 seconds. So now you even have this perk going on a little bit longer, and this perk will stay active as long. So it's like here's what's gonna happen. As long as you're the obsession, and as long as you're alive, and you're not doing any conspicuous actions, this perk will never deactivate. As long as you're never doing any conspicuous actions. The moment you start a conspicuous action, this perk deactivate. Like it's see what I mean? Doesn't it sound kind of like cool, but also weird at the same time? It's like, wait, I just got 5 seconds of the Cypher Strike, and the perk stays on as long as I'm in the obsession, as long as I'm still alive, and every time I stun a killer, I get 60 seconds, and every other 60 seconds, I will either get 4 seconds. So it's like every other 60 seconds, you can either get 4 seconds, right? The perk will stay on, so that means it will reactivate, and it will go back to being 4 seconds, right? So you use 5 seconds of Decisive Strike, then the perk will wake up again for every time you hit the killer with a flashlight, right? So then the perk will go back to 4 seconds. So the perk will go back to 4 seconds. So the perk will run out, but as long as you flashlight stun the killer, the perk will go back, and it will reactivate for another 60 seconds, and then it will go back to being 4 seconds again. So you have to wait 4 seconds. And then, if you continue the chase, but you're not fully down yet, and the perk's running out, but before the perk runs out, all you have to do, before it runs out, then it's not a big chase, because if you're keeping a good ass chase going on, and before the perk runs out, all you have to do is flashlight stun the killer, right? You flashlight stun the killer. Bam. Then bam, you get another additional 60 seconds, and then another additional 60 seconds. You have 5 seconds for flashlight stun the killer before the perk right now. So now you have 5 seconds of decisive strike, and now the perk is active for a little bit longer. But the perk will deactivate if we do a conspicuous action. So I mean, like, it's kind of cool for 2 different reasons. I know probably what I'm saying sounds broken, but I think it sounds cool. Like I've had like we could even do something with strength and shadows. Like, well, no, not really. Strength and shadows is okay on its own. Like, we could do something. We could do something with so many different perks. Like Michaela's Boon perk. Okay, I don't actually. Maybe let me not give my ideas about that. Maybe I would break. Maybe I will probably break the game if I do that. But let me just give a idea. Let me not give the idea. Let me give an idea of what they could do with Michaela's perk. Okay. So where's Michaela's perk? This is Michaela's perk. The moon circle filling. So here's what they could do with this perk. Here's just a idea. Not saying I'm giving an idea. I'm just giving a idea. There's what they could do. This perk will still have the same, like, so this perk will have the same, like, effects as it does, right? I say this. Moon circle feeling, take out the 24-meter range. You should be able to see this perk's range from as far as away as possible. I know what you're saying. Thought. That sounds kind of broken, but hear me out. Here's a way to compensate for it. You're gonna make this perk into a window perk, case perk, alright? Right? So here's what I'm saying. You're taking out the range for this and giving the range for this, right? Because Cape perks already comes with 32 meters. So as long as you're in range for every, like, vault location, you'll be good. So technically you don't need range on this if you're already having range for this. That's my point. So here's my point on this. My point on this is, since you're having like an insane amount of range, and you can see from any distance away, from like any distance away, basically. Here's what I'm thinking. Right. So once the boon is activated, everybody will basically have Kate Dennerson's or reading ability. Everyone who's not even near the circle feeling thing, everyone will have Kate's aura reading of a 32 meters range of seeing windows and stuff like that. Everyone will be able to see windows and everything. So as long as this perk is up. So the killer, so now this makes this perk scary now, because so now killers are basically forced, not like really forced, but like killers are now forced into a position where they have to find totems now. Where they have to find this totem. Now we actually have to. Now killers like me, like I mean, you know, trying to do the killer main thing, but it's like now killer mains are actually given a reason to fear Circle of Healing, right? Not only this perk still works as a healing perk, but this perk can let you see every window and every pallet on the map from any range. So now, this isn't like, so like, once this is active for everybody throughout the whole match. and then the same thing will still happen to this perk. So it's like how to like make this perk not activate frequently through the match, and what would happen, and what would happen, and what would have to happen is killers would have to find the person who brought the totem perk. They would have to find the person who brought this perk and kill them out of the game, because you know everybody who's a killer main apparently likes the idea of tunneling and doing this and this and this and this and this and this. But it's like, how do you go about tunneling someone out the game if the person who brought this perk has everyone can see everything from any meters away, right? They can't see aura reading abilities, right? Because basically, here's like a little secret in this perk I'm giving you. You might be able to see palettes in windows, but here's the thing that's gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Everyone who once this is active, this perk will make you suffer from the Oblivious effect, which means you won't be able to see your teammates' aura reading abilities. So on the survivor side of this perk, everyone who thinks on the Swift that I'm trying to make it weirdly hard in this own way. It's in my way of thinking, it's like everyone think about it, right? A Swift. So you need one person to make this a good thing. So a Swift, someone brings this, they activate it, and then guess what? Your whole team is oblivious. So now the killer, so this makes the killer more stronger than you. Because everyone's oblivious, but everyone is communicating, but everybody's oblivious. So nobody really knows where they actually are, but they also at the same time are communicating, right? In a weird way. No one's actually know where they are, but because this perk exists, they can all see palettes and windows, but they're all oblivious, and they can't see each other's aura. So since they can't see each other's aura, this gives killer the better aura view. And here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing about this, bro. Here's the thing about this. Every time a killer hooks somebody, every time a killer hooks somebody, they will see someone's aura from any range. I think that's great. Every time a killer hooks somebody, they can see anyone's aura from a distance. They can see whatever you're working on the gen, if you're opening a chest, if you're trying to make some kind of call out, and you're weirdly moving together and whatever. It's like the killer can see your aura, but you can't see your own teammate's aura, but the killer can see your aura. You're oblivious, right? You're oblivious, so this makes this perk scary, because this makes you oblivious, and every time the killer hooks you, they can see your aura from any range every time they hook you, which is kind of insane, right? So now being hooked, being hooked makes you double oblivious, right? Now it's gonna I don't know if we can stack up obliviations, I'm trying to make obliviation a thing in this game. I don't know if you can stack obliviations as a thing, but if you can stack obliviations, so let's say so there's tiers to this, right? There's two tiers to obliviation. There's basic obliviation, and there's basic oblivious, and then there's obliviation, right? Obliviation is where you can't see anything for anything, and just basic oblivious means you can see each other, but you can't see each other's aura. And then obliviation puts you in a very darkening phase, right? And your screen kind of goes dark in a weird ass way. And I mean, so now this makes killers what the fucking fuck's going on here? It's what this perk's gonna do is this is going to affect your actually seeing ability on how right this game actually is sometimes. It's mostly dark sometimes though. So what this is gonna do is that it's for every hook the killer gets, so basically here's how it happens. So if the killer hooks your teammate who is not in session, yes, someone who oh yeah, because what's that bird called? like what's it called? Uh, shoulder to burden. So that means yes. Oh, actually, this is actually quite good actually. So this actually makes sense. So 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 every time the killer hooks somebody who is not deep session, they get stacks of obliviation, which is the basic oblivion. First oblivion, first oblivion, first oblivion gives a first oblivion, first oblivion gives a killer or reading abilities. That's first oblivion, right? That's like the start of making someone's screens go dark, but except instead of screen going dark, first oblivion gives killers aura reading abilities. So basically, they can see where anyone is, and on top of that, your turn radius is gone for the whole match. And first oblivion, you can see anyone's aura reading ability for every time you hook them, and then your turn radius is gone for the whole entire match. That's just in first oblivions, right? The second time the killer hooks, so the second time the killer hooks the same person, or they can hit different people too. But if they hook different people, they will just stay in tier 1 of obliviation. Like, to get obliviation to activate, you need to hook the same person, which means tunneling in a way. You need to hook the same person 2 times to get obliviation. And to get obliviation, you need to hook the same person that you previously hooked 2 times. Right? You need to hook them 2 times. You following me, guys? So you need to hook the same person you just hooked 2 times. And once that person that you originally hooked is hooked a second time, you get obliviation. Which means not only you have a new terror radius, you can see everyone's aura, but now survivors suffer from obliviated, unseeable auras. Which means their screen is dark, right? Their screen is dark. Like their screen is dark. Now their screen is completely dark because now they're fully obliviated. So everyone's screen is dark after the same person who just got hooked 2 times. Everyone's screen is dark. Now they're in phase 2 of obliviation. And that's where you can see aura reading abilities, you have no terror radius, and everyone's screen is dark. Right? So now you just have like an insane buff. Insane, right? Now you're probably wondering, how do survivors get out? Now you're probably wondering, how do survivors get out of this? And now this brings us to the perk next to it. I know this sounds stupid. Work with me, please. Now this perk comes in handy. Flashbang. Okay? You're probably wondering, thought, what? Wait on it. To break out obliviated or obliviations, to break out the phase 2 of obliviation, you need to find your survivor teammate. Mainly the obsession. You need to find your obsession teammate. Okay? You need to find your obsession teammate to break out of obliviation's phase 2. And with this, you need to have the flashbang perk, or this won't work obviously. You need to have the flashbang perk. You need to have the flashbang perk to wake up your teammate out of oblivious out of phase 2 of oblivious, right? You need to have them, and you need to purposely and on purpose drop the flashbang on them. You need to drop the flashbang on deep session to wake them up. And then guess what? Once the obsession wakes up, everyone can see again. And then once the obsession wakes up, everyone can see again. And once everyone can see again, guess what? You don't go back to phase 2 of Oblivious, you just keep Oblivious 1. So now, like, Oblivious 1, which you already know what that is aura reading abilities, no tear radius, survivors can see windows. I mean, they can still see windows, even, like, in the darkest, even when their screen kind of goes dark, they can still see windows, but it's like, it's so dark that that darkness actually impacts them so much that they need flashbang. And that's just in phase 2, right? So in phase 2, to wake up, you need flashbang, and the only way to get out of the phase 2 of Obliviation is to bring flashbang. And when she flashbang the obsession, everybody wakes up, and then you go back to Oblivious. There you go. That's what you would do. They could, like, I know that sounds insane, complicated, but it's like, this is kind of like what a Swift. This is what I'm imagining a Swift could do. Like, this is basically me saying, give something Swift to do instead of playing the same game over and over again. Give them something to do. Give them something completely stupid to do. You know what I mean? So it's like actually insane. Oh wait, also one more thing to like kind of mention. One more thing kind of to mention in the second version of Oblivious, and then the killer's movement speed is increased. So once they hook the same exact person 2 times, the killer's movement speed is increased. There you go. So like the killers get increased movement speed. So like basically what they get is like blood pack. They get like 7% of face. That is what the killer will get. The killer will get 7% of face. So what will happen is that once the killer hooks the same exact person again, they will get 7% of movement speed. Once everyone is oblivified, and they're in like Obliviation, the phase 2 version of it, right? The killer will gain 7% haste of movement speed. They will get increased movement speed by 7%. So now they're actually fast, like insanely fast. So now this gives you a reason to wake up the obsession who is not hooked, right? Because if the killer hooks the obsession, the obsession goes back to Oblivious 1, right? If the killer interacts or hooks the obsession any time in the game, you know what will happen? You know what will happen? What will happen is that it will kind of work in a similar way of like save the best for last, kind of like a way. So like basically, if the killer interacts with the obsession, they basically like it's like save the best for last. They lose a stack for every time they interact with the obsession. It's like save the best for last. So every time you interact with the obsession, you basically lose save the best for last stacks. But the less you interact with the obsession, the less you interact with the obsession, the more the game keeps going. But the moment you interact with the obsession, and you hook the obsession, and you're in like Obliviation 2, and you hook the obsession, you lose increased movement speed. You lose the increased movement speed, and you go back to aura reading abilities once you hook the obsession. But that's what would happen. So once you hook the obsession, you lose Obliviation 2, phase 2, which makes everyone's screen dark, and then you go back to just being a basic normal speed killer, and then you just see normal aura reading ability. That's what would happen. That's what would happen if you interact with the obsession. You would lose stacks of speed, basically. So basically, like so now this makes killers want to stay in Obliviations 2 and want to like not interact with the obsession. So like this makes killers look insanely strong. I don't know. I think it sounds cool. I mean, so you might be like, that sounds completely fucking stupid, and I don't know why, but I kind of like it. you know, someone might be like, I kind of like that, but it sounds fucking stupid. I know, right? So, I don't know if Behavior will take that idea of what I just said, because it probably sounds completely fucking confusing or pretty fucking stupid, but, either way, I'm giving them ideas. That is my point.